And the microphone is on. Amelia, what the heck? Dr. Fox in a fox anime suit doing a volcano parody. Saying, Gel ding 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 darler. Still makes me laugh so much. Okay, there you go. Oh, wow. Anyway, welcome everyone. I'm your host, the guy with two left feet who can't zumba, DrFox2000, and you're watching the VolcanoX live stream. And welcome to everyone. Glad to have you all on board. Oh, what? I guess, yeah. Dr. Fox is on the mic. Yeah, you bet. Oh, too much fun. I was just chuckling and giggling with all that stuff that was going on there. And Amelia, if you're going to make it around the world in 30 minutes or so, you need to be going about 34,000 miles per hour to make that trip all once around. So I hope you got some heat shields of some sort. You're going to heat up a little bit moving that fast through the good old atmosphere. Anyway, on that friendly note, glad to have everyone on board. And I guess first we'll say hello to our wonderful moderators. We probably have Arizona Snowman in the background, as well as Piggy. And yeah, Piggy's still a little bit under the weather, so we can understand why. Amelia, I have to fly backwards. I'm in the future. Wow, that is pretty cool. Seismic energy has increased slightly. Thank you, Yvonne. I noticed that myself, but yeah, thanks. I do appreciate it. Anyway, as I was saying, welcome, to the moderators. Piggy is still in the background, and we can understand it. And of course, C&D Boy is probably out catching crabs or chopping wood. And we may have others in the background, such as Gary, 24/7 Live, AZ Skies, and perhaps Lucas and Joseph as well. We'll see. We'll see who's here. But for now, hey, we're all okay. Yes. Well, Yvonne, I don't know if you heard, but. Piggy's little one of her Scotties passed away, and it was pretty hard on her. So that was yesterday morning. So anyway, we hope that Piggy is doing all right. And it's always hard losing a member of your family that way. Even if it's a furry member. It's still very difficult. Anyway, yeah, it's unfortunate, it really is. But yeah, I don't know. Hey Gary, thanks and for letting me know you're hiding. Okay, let's get going with the show, though. So, first person in today was Sasha. So, Sasha gets the wonderful cookies. And there you go, Sasha. And, of course, I'll go through all the wonderful people's names here and say hi to everyone. We'll start out with our wonderful volcanologist, Yvonne Kunkel. Welcome, and glad to have you on board. Also, John Raper and Grandma B, Kananaskis Country, Sixth Sense Amelia, the giddy one, flying backwards on around the world from the future back. We got John already. Hermione Schaefer, welcome. Glad to have you on board. Kevin Haynes is also here. And Trevor T. Wonky Donkey, welcome back. And going up some more, Paul Williams, I think, and let's see, who else we got here? Scott Hartman, welcome you guys, and Alba Girl is back, welcome. Going up a little bit more, trying to see, we got Scott Jojo 1960 UK, welcome, glad to have you back. We got Alba Girl, got Canadaskis going up some more here. A lot of chatters going on, but we'll fix that. We'll see what we can do. Just going scrolling. We got Canadaskis already. Boy, oh boy, lots of chatting going on. And we really do like that. That means everybody is happy and talking to each other. Kirsten Chaplin, welcome. I'm glad to have you on here. And Gabby also back as well. Good to see you. Going up some more, looking for more wonderful names. We got Amelia already. We got Adele. Scott, we got two. Going up some more. Lots of repeats here, so that's okay. Nancy Buchanan, welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. And who else have we got in our wonderful list? Scrolling up more, we got King Colin Deadman, welcome, and John C, glad to have you on board. Going up a little bit more, looking for more wonderful people here real quick. Derek Shave in the house, welcome Derek, and who else we got? Scrolling some more. Frank McLeod, see you in 20, he said, and I think time's up, Frank. Oh, a few Lux from Luxembourg, are you hiding in here? I see your spaceship, and welcome, and I think I'm at the top here and don't see any others, so I'll go back down to the bottom, and let's see, did I miss? Anna Wallner is here, welcome Anna. And who else snuck in? Don Arnold also here. And I think that is about good for right now with names. We got John already. Just double checking here on the bottom end as things went by a little quick. Okay, I don't see any more, but let's leave it at that. And let's pop over to our wonderful Iceland, and we will put our canned lava away here for a minute, and we'll also get rid of that big banner, and what else we get rid of? That little banner. Okay, so as you can see, fairly foggy right now there. But of course, it's already 8:02 p.m. there, or 20:02. If we go back, say about 5 hours, maybe even 6 hours, we'll try that, 5 or 6 hours, and see what it looks like then. We do see this line here of, I don't know whether it's on the camera lens or whether it's actually just fog hanging in there, but it looks kind of weird. But as you can see, there's nothing really happening around the edges. Don't see any more smoke coming up, just a little bit here and there. So things are relatively quiet as far as what we can see for the most part. And this is about 4 hours ago. It looked a little different. I think that might be right on the lens. It almost looks like water drop or a bird or something that did something outrageous. You never know. Anyway, that's kind of what it was looking like earlier, and we do know that this is what it is like right now. When we kind of scanned through some of the other areas in Iceland, this was our other shot from the shore, and in the background we're supposed to see Kaleir and Ragnar, but it's so cloudy and foggy there we don't get to see that. This, of course, is our wonderful sunset right now in Iceland, and that actually does look pretty good. Hey, is that Wormhand is here? Welcome, Wormhand. And of course, this is the other shot from Katla. And I'm going to back that one up a little bit so we can see it a little bit better here. So about 3.5 hours ago, that is what it was looking like at Katla. And the area, so Katla being this whitish stuff up here. And I don't think this is smoke from Katla. I think this is just clouds puffing up as we see the weather is kind of yucky. And of course, we had the other shot here, and I don't think this one's going to show too much. And yeah, there's Ragnar there. Right there, and that's kind of what we're seeing from this angle. So back to our Siggy Fisher, that is what we've got there, and it looks awesome, but hey, it's one of those things. Not doing much right now, unfortunately. Let's have a quick brief look at the harmonic tremor chart, and this is what it's looking like right now. Yesterday we did notice it was on an upward swing, and it did get up to a certain point, and then it started coming down again. And as I mentioned yesterday, that this upward swing was not just at Fraga del Fial. It was pretty much everywhere on the peninsula. So it was kind of a common thing as far as energy levels and everything. It's just under the whole Iceland really was showing a lot of that. Even up in Grimsey had that same uplift happening. So kind of very interesting to see that. And then of course this quake here, I did spot that guy. That was, I think, about a 2. That actually happened fairly close to well, it was up, I believe, up towards Cape Lear. So that is where that guy came in. And this one I didn't check, but we'll probably find that as well. Anyway, we see it, and we don't like it, but you know, it is what it is up there. And unfortunately, it is kind of the way things go. I'm going to scroll down here and just look at some of the other charts. You see them all kind of heading up and heading back down, the same kind of thing. So this is what I was saying. This system wasn't anything specific to Fraga del Fial. This was all of Iceland wide as far as the activity, and that includes Grindavik, of course. And you can see the chart is fairly far down there also. So you want to see Ragnar again? Aww. The only view of Ragnar we got is that other one. What? Volcano Femmes. Sorry, I've missed you. Greeting. Yeah. What? Scrolling too fast. Yvonne, I want to see Ragnar again. I want to see Ragnar erupting. I really do. Anyway, as we mentioned here, you know, it doesn't matter which one you look at. They all had that fairly major rise, and then a fairly steep fall. And that is what we're kind of witnessing. So, like I mentioned, it's not an isolated thing for Fraga del Fial, unfortunately. It's kind of the whole of Iceland is really doing its thing. And I suspect that we've got, you know, the plates moving. And of course, that is what's going on. At least that's what I'm suspecting. Anyway, let's have a look at the wonderful earthquakes, and we'll go from there. I don't know if I want to use this map too much. The other one showed things a little bit better. I did have a look at it this morning, and we were actually down to about 20 earthquakes this morning, and now we're up to 51 again for all of Iceland for the last 24 hours. And that is basically a real quiet time, considering, that's just a very, very few earthquakes when you get right down to it, the amount. Dr. Fox, you have to tell it to the lava workers. They're too lazy to dig through Ragnar. What? Oh, come on, Yvonne. They've got those pneumatic drills. Why can't they use them? And didn't we get them the Bore 2000 machine there to make lava tubes? I thought we got with them one of them. Oh boy. Anyway, okay, Reagan's Peninsula, right there, of course, and that is all of Iceland. And we'll take a look at the other areas here shortly. But we're going to check this little swarm out that is happening just off the coast. And a lot of these quakes are very fresh, and that is nice to see, but they're also fairly deep, and they're not very big. 1.8, 7 kilometers down, 1755 for that guy. 1.6, 1756 for that guy. 7.2 kilometers down. We're just going to grab these bigger ones. 7.8 for this 2.2, and 1753. Then we have another 1.8, 5.1 kilometers down, 1736. So it's almost like they happened all of a sudden. And here's another 1.7, and that is at 6.1 kilometers down, 1754. This 1.4, a little shallower, 4.8 kilometers down, but 1735. And then let's see these guys, 4.6 on this guy, 1757 for the 1, and then 1.2, 1.2 kilometers down. So that one's a lot more shallow, 1750. And we also had 1755 for this 1.4, 2.7 kilometers down. So these ones appear to be a little more shallow, but everything over here is fairly deep, and we really don't need to go over every last one, but just to kind of get a pretty good sample. And that seems to be about 6 to 8 kilometers down for this whole group out here. And looking at the way they're spread across here, kind of makes me wonder what's going on. Are we getting plate separation again? And will that allow some more magma into our magma chamber? That's a good question, isn't it, Yvonne Kunkel? Anyway, we also have this 1.1 right there, 4.1 kilometers down from 1416 today. And here's the one that I suspect caused one of the spikes in our thing. 7:52 a.m. 2.02, 6.4, or just about 6.5 kilometers down. And then we also had that one, and that one happened actually yesterday at 2107, 1.01, and I think we looked at that one yesterday, and that might have been, or did we? Maybe not. That would have been after we would have been on, but yeah, at least it's there, 2.1 kilometers down. And when we look here, to give you a better perspective, there's where our Ragnar should be, and this is where the Siggy Fisher is over here, and that's at 2.02, and then here's the 1.01, and that's K-Lear right in here. So gives you a pretty good idea of where it is. That is still within that Fragile zone, and that is interesting. But we also do see over here at, what is this? Oh boy, I forgot the name again. It'll come to mind. Krusevik. There we go. I knew it was there somewhere. 12:33 was the time on that one. 2.36, 4.8 kilometers down. And then we also have a 1.43, 4 kilometers down from 1240. And then the 0, I'm not going to worry about that guy, 3.3 kilometers down. So not a heck of a lot going on, but that's not going to indicate anything imminent as far as I can see. This 0.95 is also in the mess, 5.19 kilometers down, 9:27 this morning. So really nothing major happening right here on the peninsula. It's very, very quiet. And moving inland a little bit more, we see other ones here like this 1.0, 5.9 kilometers down from 1555 today. And then we had a 1753. It was the time on this 0.8, and it was 5.2 kilometers down, which is probably a good thing. Going over, we don't see anything here at Katla or our other ones. Hekla, everything is quiet in that area. But once we get over to Grimsvatn and Bardabunga area, then things start to pick up. We have a bunch of movement here, and I believe it's just ice movement, but then again, I could be wrong. This one is 5.2 kilometers down and that would not be ice. 1.1 was the magnitude, and 1540 was the time on that guy. Let's check this too. 5.2 kilometers down as well. 2 on him, and 1603. And then, of course, there's this one, 1.6, 2.2 kilometers down, 1855. And this guy here, 3.7. Yeah, I guess this is not ice movement, you guys. This is stuff happening underneath. 1806 was the time on this magnitude 1, 3.7 kilometers down. And let's just grab this 1.3 in the middle here just to kind of check it. 5.2 kilometers down, 1550 was the time on that. So it gives you a general idea that those are probably about 5 kilometers underneath everything in that area. And I don't know if I want to pinpoint to Grimsvatn or, well, we know Bardabunga is up here, so a little further away. You never know what's going to go on underneath there. 5 kilometers can take something a long way. So if we had magma moving up, it could pop out here, kind of thing. But let's not go there. We're not seeing that. Astja, on the other hand, nothing today. And that is very, very quiet. And really nothing major or new up in this area. And remember the massive swarm we had before. It has really died out to just a few quakes here and there now. And this 2.36, 14 kilometers down, 14.2 from 6:15 a.m. And it's really deep. This guy, 1.4, and it's 10.6 kilometers down, was actually yesterday's from 2248. 1.3 down here, 1.1 kilometers down, that's a little closer to the surface, and that was from 1250 today. And then we have this one, 1.79, 5.9 kilometers down, and 139 in the morning, and that is good for that guy. Then we have 1.26, 11.8 kilometers down, 4:57 a.m. You know, and it gives you a pretty good idea that it has changed. Whatever was happening has subsided, and I'm hoping it's the calm before the storm. Okay, I didn't say that out loud, did I? 2.12, 13.5 kilometers down, 2035 is the time on that guy. Then we've got this 0.79, 13.7 clicks down from 2057. And checking this one here, 9.9 kilometers down for this 1.13 from 3:46 a.m. So really quiet in comparison to what we've had there in the last little while. So definitely doing its thing as far as gone down. What Talk had posted that last night that the aurora forecast for Iceland for those who are interested. Okay, thanks, Amelia. What we'll do is at the end of the show, we'll make sure we drop Talk's link a few times there so people can have a peek. And on occasion, those things are absolutely gorgeous to look at. And for someone who's never seen it, it will definitely help you out. And that'll be good. So, all good for right now. Okay. Anyway, that's kind of the earthquakes, you guys, and really nothing too major going on there. And of course, this is the other map. And again, here they're not showing anything in the middle area of Iceland. It's up on the top and down on the bottom, really, where they're indicating the tremors and the movement, if you will. And of course, we know the mid-Atlantic ridge runs right through here and out the top with some zigzags, but it does go out there. Actually, I think this one goes up to about here, and then there's a kind of a cutover, and then it goes up. Very interesting things, so that would be pretty cool. Oh, Amelia, we did that a long time ago. Talk is considered a friend, so we put his link in, and that's all cool. Anyway, very good for that, and let's carry on with other volcanoes and see what else we have around the world. We'll pop over to the Azores really quickly. And I did have a check at the Azores earlier as well. Other than seeing a nice sunset there, and I should have maybe grabbed a picture, but oh, why is that a little bit off? We'll get that fixed. There we go. Fix that. Anyway, sunset that we seen looked really nice. Was right between Pico and Fayal Island out here. And it looked like the big fireball just going down. So pretty cool. I'm a tech cabbage. In Ukrainian they call that kapusta. But anyway, let's not get too funny. It was a better day today there, but this is kind of what this was a shot from yesterday, just to kind of show you what that area looks like. We're looking at a small harbor and part of a town with that shot when we do see it there. And we know that is Pico Island across the way, and Mount Montana is back there. And of course, hang on, where am I? Pico Island there. Mount Montana over in this area here. And then Fayal Island is just off the edge of the screen here, and the sun was setting in this region, and I should have taken a nice picture of it, but I forgot, so my bad. Anyway, here's the other one that we look at. We do see a lot of white water down here right now, and the reason we look at this is to see what's happening there as far as the sea levels and storm-wise, and it looks pretty rough at that sea, so I don't know if I'd want to go there. Here's a daytime shot of that same area, just so you have a pretty good understanding of what we're looking at. It's just a little cove, and you can see those waves splashing in there pretty hard. Anyway, let's get to the earthquakes, and we'll change that view just slightly, I think. Whoop, there we go. And looking here, 24th, yesterday was the last one, and we don't see anything for the 25th. And that is pretty, I don't know if that's good or bad or what, but anyway, so I did want to refresh the other map here and take a look and see if they had something. This is new. 50 minutes ago, 2.3, and that is kind of cool. Let's see if we can make that a little bit bigger and see the entirety of the Azores. And of course, that is our mid-Atlantic ridge right there. And this is where that happened 50 minutes ago, 2.3, nothing major. This is Pico Island, Fayal Island, and of course Sao George, the island that we were on. And if we zoom in a little bit, then you can see that a little bit better. So, and this is where the other Tercera, if I said it right, that's the one volcano there that is suspect, and then Sao George over here is the other one that is suspect. We'll see what happens in the future. Anyway, that's it for quakes for the Azores. So pretty easy going today as far as I can see. And for those who aren't quite familiar with this, there's your mid-Atlantic ridge. There's Iceland right there. So mid-Atlantic ridge coming down and squiggling through the area. And then, of course, this is kind of the dividing line here between the Eurasian plate and the African plate. And if you kind of look at it, you see kind of an outline here. It's almost like the Azores are in a no man's land, if you want to call it that. But really interesting and pretty awesome looking the way it is. But that's it for earthquakes there, and really nothing major going on. We don't even have a depth. I think that was fairly close to the surface for that 2.3. And that's it for today for those guys. So we'll put it back on here, get that screen back into that mode, and we will carry on. And let's have a look at Popocatépetl in Mexico. And welcome, Arizona Snowman. Glad to have you on board. Let's see if I can find that cloudy stuff on my screen here. That might be this one. Yay, I found it. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. Of course, those are very lovely volcano gray shades of clouds. Murphy and his laws. Anyway, we'll back up a little bit. Going back about, I guess, about 8 hours, 40 minutes ago or so. And you can kind of see, I don't know where the light is coming from, moonlight or what it is, but some light happening there. It's 6:37 a.m. And we do see that lenticular cloud trying to build up around it, while the top of the volcano is actually stuck in the clouds. And if we move on a little bit further, you can see that lenticular cloud continued to hang in there for a while, and I thought that was pretty awesome. And once we get into daylight a little bit, it continued to do that. So you can kind of see it hanging there still. And we'll move on a little bit more, and it redeveloped that cloud into a multi-layer cloud, and we can probably better see that from another angle, but we'll take a look right away. Something I want to point out here is look where the snow level is. The snow level is all the way down to here, so it's chilly up there. It is chilly up in Popocatépetl, and that is not so good. But as we progressed a little bit more, 5 hours or 6 hours ago roughly for this shot, there you can see some more of those lenticular clouds, a couple layers of it, and very cool, as well as pluming out. If we move ahead a little bit, I don't know how much you can see of that pluming, but a multi-layered cloud again, and you can see it popping up in the background here. It's hard to tell when it's not moving very quickly. It's kind of makes it a little bit more difficult, right? So that's what we've got. And yeah, there again, still a lot of snow on there. I'm surprised it hadn't melted off yet by 10 a.m. And it's still got to be cold there. Let's see, 4 hours ago is what it looked like here. And again, clouds still hanging in there, and so is the snow, and has not melted off. And then later on, of course, we end up getting into a little bit more cloud again. Yeah, there's still hanging in there. Snow starting to melt by noon. Wow. And then shortly thereafter, we ended up with the cloud monsters coming in. So we'll use the other view here for a minute, and I was going to kind of show you those lenticular clouds from a little bit of a distance, and that would be right around here, I think, and some of that off-gassing it was doing, and a little bit of that cloud left, and of course a nice plume of gas coming out. Unfortunately, not that brownish material that we like to see that has ash and tephra and everything else in it. But you can certainly tell how far up that snow level is, or how far down it came during the night. So it's cold up there for some reason. Why is it so cold? We didn't order cold, did we? Or did somebody order? Maybe the lava workers ordered cold. But just advancing 5 seconds at a time, just so you can kind of get an idea of movement there. And that is kind of pluming out, but at a very, very slow rate. So that's what we've got today so far. And somebody's calling for Poppet. Oh no, don't call for Poppet. Poppet is a nice cat. I'm going to put this one back on live. That's what it looks like there as well. And I'm going to go take that break, you guys. So after the break, we will get back in and have another look at Fuego and down south a little bit more, that kind of thing. And then we'll carry on with the other ones. And let's see, we'll put that back on, give you some music. For all those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit that like button, please help us out and give it a quick shot. Ariane, welcome. And let's see, Jojo we got. Did I miss anyone sneaking in? Anyway, like I say, for those that haven't hit that like button yet, please give it a shot. And then also, if you're new on the sidelines, you want to see more of this, or be able to chat in the chat box, you do have to be subscribed for at least 1 minute. So if you subscribe, don't forget to hit the other button there for the bell, that we always get notified when we come on for our wonderful stream. On that note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I am going to take a 5-minute break or thereabouts, and then I'll be back. Thanks, you guys. we go. Microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. And thank you, everyone. Thanks, Arizona Snowman saying welcome home. Thanks, and thank you, Scott and John and Albert and Kevin and Hermione and Kirst and Yvonne and and okay, well, thank you, everyone. Glad to be back on. Anyway, let's. Thanks, Nancy and Grandma B2. Did I miss anyone? Sharon Stewart saying, I hear you. And Sasha says, welcome back. Okay, I think we got him. No, Jojo too. Okay, got everybody now. All right. We'll keep going though. So let's stop our canned lava here. And we'll take off. That is what it looks like there right now in Iceland. Siggy Fisher in the gray, dark skies, of course. It is 8:40 p.m. there, so of course it's going to be dark. Anyway, we were looking at our wonderful Popocatépetl, and we were going to continue on looking at the other stuff in Central America. And of course, there's our lovely volcano gray from the moment, and it is beautiful, isn't it? And here we go over to our other beautiful volcano, and I just want to make sure that is up to snuff. There we go. And of course, that is Fuego. Isn't that lovely? Isn't that beautiful? Let's see if we can find it. And yeah, we actually had a little bit of an eruption this morning there, and that is about here, and that is 5:49 a.m. And we see it too had lenticular clouds built up on it. So I'm wondering if we've got some really cold air up top here, and that is kind of neat the way it does things. Anyway, I am advancing at 5 seconds at a time to expedite this. Actually, I'm going to go back here for a second, and we'll go through it again. No, it didn't do it. Oh, yeah, it did. I'm going to watch in here. I'm just going to let it run normally. I thought I seen a big spark in there, but could have been just my advancing it, causing it, but and that should be within the 10-second mark here. And we'll see if there was actually some volcanic lightning in there. Maybe not. Well, we should have seen it by now. I didn't see it. So perhaps just something happening when I'm advancing it. Anyway, we did get into the golden times here. And again, you can see how that beautiful lenticular cloud is built up. And it's got a secondary one right underneath it. Nice hat. So that is pretty cool, pretty awesome. And as the sun was rising, we see another little tiny plume come out of there, nothing much. And that is kind of what we were seeing this morning. And then later on, we had the clouds kind of pop in behind it, and we seen this. So again, that lenticular cloud still hanging there, a pretty good indicator that we've got some really cold air aloft, and that we are still continuing to see our volcano erupt though. I'm not sure if we can take it back far enough to the other eruption here. There was a fairly decent, sizable one. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to take it back a bunch here, and this was from about 3 o'clock roughly, that we seen a fairly good shot come out of this thing. There it goes. And I do believe that was it. You can see some of that material really flying, taking off, and going in all kinds of directions here. And that was not just a small little eruption at that time. There you can see the lava bombs hitting in different spots, and man, those would have been pretty big. Yvonne says, okay, I'm going to bed now. Thanks for another great stream. Dr. Fox and Lava Mods, Mods, Lavaliers, and Lava Family. Have a great day and night. See you tomorrow. Okay, Yvonne, you take care. I hope you got your lawn mowed. And we'll see you later. Okay, have a good night. Sleep well and pleasant dreams. Anyway, that is Fuego at about 3 a.m. So pretty cool. And that one you did see lightning in the background. So we know there are storms happening in the area. There's some more lightning. And I thought it looked pretty cool. At least it gives you a little bit of an idea. And there's more lava popping out. So this would have been really nice in color, I think. We would have seen a very, very beautiful show as this plumed out. But unfortunately, this camera is set for black and white for nighttime. And not a heck of a lot more we can do about it. It did look like it was starting to rain at that point. So kind of that's what we've got. But thought I'd share that one with you guys. I think there was one more there that was fairly intense, but that happened after the rain. Yeah, that's actually not that intense, but there it goes. So again, this one 4:10 a.m. and again, it did shoot out the material quite a ways up, and between clouds and stuff, it's a little harder to see, but it didn't quite light up as much of an area as what we seen on that first shot. So it is what it is. Nothing we can do about it, unfortunately. So let's move it back ahead here into our daylight hours. Where we had the thing puffing away, and that was somewhere around here, where it really did its heavy puffing and that kind of thing. So looking not too bad, but we know all good things have to come to an end. But let's see here. This should be another one that was a fairly decent sized eruption. That I had 806 written down, but it might be just a little bit beyond that. And again, you can see that heavy plume of dark ash and other materials coming out, and it kept on going, and was pushing a few times with extra plumage coming up, so a lot of material shooting out at the same time, and that's kind of what we seen there. Yeah, and actually there's another one here. 8:30 it was on my sheet. So let's there it goes. Yeah, that one is really quite dark in color, so we know there's a lot of material in there when it came up. And again, you can see on the top of the mountain, it's actually turning light gray here. All the material that's being thrown out is raising a lot of dust and stuff. So very intense and a very dark material coming out of there. That would have lit up the mountain quite a bit, this particular shot. And that looks not bad at all, really, for what it's doing. And hopefully it will give us a decent show down the road. And there were more of these happening further on. As you can see, this is like not just once, but it's like a multiple shot going up. And I think the chamber must have changed down underneath there somewhere, which is allowing it to fill up with multiple pressure points to allow extra material out. So pretty cool, pretty awesome. And again, you can see more of that debris kind of creating that dust clouds and stuff on the side of the mountain. So there's extra material being thrown out. Not bad. And let's see, and then after that, I think it went back into the clouds for a while. And that's where we're kind of at right now. So that is our wonderful Fuego in Guatemala. And this here is going a little further south, Cerro Negro, and that is in Nicaragua. And that is kind of what it looks like there today. Earlier, I did see that it had a nice plume coming out here, smoking with lighter gray, almost white clouds. And I thought, hey, maybe we'll have a good picture today, but unfortunately not. So we'll take what we've got. Next one is also in Nicaragua, and that is Masaya volcano. And there you go. That one from current 2:47 p.m. their time, so about 3 minutes ago. And again, you can see it's off-gassing, smoking, continuing to do its thing. And we know there is active lava in there because at nighttime you can see the glow here in the crater, and that is always pretty cool. And for those who are interested, I'm just going to drop the link for that one in the chat. I did have a couple people ask before if I can do that once in a while, so I'm doing that. And that is for this one and several of the other ones. If you take the back part off of the link where it says V underscore Messiah and onward, and just put up to the webcam point, it will show you a list of volcanoes they have that you can go and watch from their cameras. Okay, leaving that alone, we can move on, and I'm going to fix my other display here. There we go. And let's carry on to our next volcano, and we will go right about here, I think. And that is a rotating screen. I guess we're not going to go to that one. We're going to go to the next one that is showing, oh, lovely volcano grayish green today, or tonight. Well, for them it's nighttime, and that is all cool, all awesome. But I'm going to see what the other one is doing. Why is it buffering? And we'll see if we can get that back on the screen. And yep, it did come back. So anyway, as you can see, we don't have any visibility on Semaru. I'm going to see if we can actually go back in time a little bit, and hopefully something will show up. It's kind of very, very poor visibility. There we go. About 3 hours ago, we kind of did see it, but not very well. And you can see the clouds all around it and stuff like that. That is just after midnight their time. And prior to that, about an hour before that, there it is, just gray clouds again and horrible weather. So they do have a lot of that weather going on, and nothing we can do about it. You can see the other angles here do show the volcano a little bit, but unfortunately, oh, hang on, you guys can't see that. Let me fix that. There. Okay, the other shots here. So this one and this one, you can actually see a little bit of a plume there and a little red spot. So we know there is some lava up top, but unfortunately it's not doing enough to keep us going. You're welcome, Amelia. And anyway, let's see. Did I kill? Oh, I think I killed my other thing. Oh no, I'll have to go find it again. I think I accidentally closed Ruapehu. No, that's in the other one. Never mind. It's not here. Anyway, this, of course, I'm showing multiple screens, but I'm not showing anything very, very well at all. So we will try doing that. And there's Krakatoa. Let's see if we can improve that just a little. Not really by much, but that is Krakatoa, and that is in the Philippines. You can see right in here a little bit of a glow, but not as big of a glow as what we seen yesterday. And that same glow is right about there on this other picture. And as you see here, we don't have that big massive slide that we had yesterday. Now we're down quite a ways as far as activity, and that is really what we're seeing right now. So pretty quiet there, and there we go. And now we can have a look at Merapi, since I got that to kind of refresh a little. And again, it really wasn't all that great there. They kind of suffered from the same thing. It was good for a little while, and other times it was grayed right out because of the horrible weather that continues to go on there. Oh, hey, what did that do? It put it all the way back to the beginning. Wow, neat. Anyway, that is, what is that? That's actually from 17, that's in the afternoon, at 5 p.m., 5:05 p.m. last night for them. So, but that is the kind of what we were seeing. Let's put that back to live. That is current conditions there at Merapi. Let's pop over real quick to our wonderful Ruapehu. That is in New Zealand, of course, and that is on the North Island. And it's really not too far away from Taupo, and that kind of makes you wonder if one goes, will the other one show us something? Anyway, I'm backing up a little bit here to try to see if we have a spot where we can actually see it without clouds on it. And very, very difficult to find anything there, even in the very, very wee hours. And nope, so nothing without clouds today. And we know Ruapehu is in there somewhere. It's in the clouds, and unfortunately not so good. Yes, I agree, John. Doc's screens look nifty. All right, nifty. Nifty. My screens look nifty. I like that. All right, let's go back here though, and we'll carry on. And next volcano, Sakurajima. And there it is, Sakurajima in Japan. And let me get on the right screen. As soon as I find where it is, there it is. And crank the quality up on that one as well. There we go. That should be a little bit better. Yeah, and you can see it is definitely continuing to off gas. It is fairly hazy there. It is just about 6 a.m. there, and we know it's better weather because the fishing boats are back, right? So everybody kind of saved their boats. If we go back a little bit in time, depending on when we were back, we could see a little bit of a glow here in the volcano, and this was 5 minutes after 4. So we know that there's something happening down in there, and we did see that. Just very, very hard to tell what's going on there. If we go to the close-up and go back to about that time, let's see if that gets us there. No, that's 3:45. That should be about 4:20. Yeah, the close-up is not going to work for us today at all, as far as the way the smoke is. And this is current condition, and it's blowing right towards the camera, so very difficult to see. You can see the outline of the crater, but very, very hard to see. Oop, ice cream boat coming in, one already docked. So, yay, ice cream. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. No, sorry, it's the first one to dock. The other one is not there. I thought it was, but it isn't. So at least the ice cream boat's there, and you can run down, get an ice cream for the break time, and then you can enjoy it when we come back with our wonderful bacon seeds. So strawberry meavy, please. Yeah, I'll have some of that. So pretty cool, you guys. Anyway, for those good people who are in here, if you haven't not yet hit that like button, give us a shot and help us out. Of course, our target is to get well over 100, and that helps out with the YouTube analytics very seriously. And also, if you're new and you have not yet subscribed and you're liking what you're seeing, by all means, give it a quick shot on that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell notification while you're doing that. So that should help you out. And on that note, we know the ice cream boat is there. You guys can head on down and get one. But I will put you back onto the Icelandic canned lava, since I have some of that, and we'll keep you smiling, I guess, for the most part. So there we go. And after the break, of course, like I said, we'll have some bacon seeds, and then we'll go from there. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We'll see you all in 5 or so minutes. Thanks. welcome back, everyone. Glad to have you on board, or welcome to the new ones. And awesome to be here. Good night to Wormhand, and good day to Amelia, since Amelia is just starting her day. So that is all cool. And thank you for the wonderful welcome backs from, let's see, who we got? Alba Girl, and Scott, and Hermione, and John, and Grandma B, and Kevin, and Nancy Buchanan, and Jojo. So, and Sharon Stewart with I Hear You. Oops, I was lagging. Well, you're not that far back, Sharon. You're pretty close. And Sarah Miles has got a worm. Welcome, Sarah. Glad to have you on board. And let's see, what else we got? Isn't it, what? Great, isn't it, Nancy Buchanan? Okay, love the boogie woogie music. Yeah, you know, it makes you tap your fingers and your toes, and I like it. It's neat. Anyway, hey, I promised bacon seeds, so let's turn that lava off, and we'll go over and have a look at our bacon seeds for today. And these, of course, are compliments of Piggy, and we really do appreciate Piggy doing these every day, and she does such a wonderful job of finding them for us. So hats off to Piggy. And here we go. And that was yesterday's. This is our first one for today. And that guy looks like he's eating his stuff. He's trying to get it a belly, and that is okay. And let's see if we can get on to the next one. And that little smiley fella, we always like them when they're smiling. And they show such nice characteristics when you have them, you know, up close, and you can see that. Very nice. Next, bacon seed. And this guy, I don't think he likes having his camera taking pictures of him, but he's smirking, kind of saying, "Here, get my good side." and that's pretty awesome. Cow pig? Yeah, kind of. Volcanic porkers. Yeah, well, yeah, Jack Straw. And welcome, Joseph Fields Official. Glad to have you back. And next, a little bacon seed is this guy. Front hoofs are pink, and a little white spot, and the rest is black. And that is pretty awesome. And we like that one too. So really cool. And let's get our next little cuddly fella. And again, smirking away because it's being held, saying, "Love me, because I like being loved." And that is pretty awesome for that little pink fella. And let's get on to this little guy. Definitely not looking like he's starving. He's got some extra pork on him. And of course, looking right into the camera saying, "Can I eat that?" Oh boy, I gotta love it. Pigs in blankets. Yep. Piggy in a blanket. One more bacon seed to go, and this is our last one for today. Because it was so nice and sunny out and tiring, he went and had a nap attack. So beautiful bacon seed having a little snooze. Always nice to see, and pretty awesome. Sleepy Piggy, yep, and didn't quite make it back in the house. Couldn't resist, yep, nap attack, boom, down they go. So that's our bacon seeds for today, you guys. And thank you again to Piggy for doing such a wonderful job supplying those. And that is just awesome. So let's go back over to Sakurajima for a second. And then What? I wish I was allowed to do that. Yeah, me too. And just drop wherever you want. Definitely see some ice cream boats there, and the mountain itself was starting to get a little hazy out there. And I don't know, it looks hazy everywhere there. And of course, it's 6:11 a.m. So what's going to happen, of course, is that fog will burn off in a little while. But for right now, that's what they have happening there. And they may even get a little bit of rain or something just for a little while. We'll see. And we want to carry on from there, though. There is our ASO. ASO is the way it is spelled. ASO-san, also in Japan. And there's the caldera up here. And of course, you can see it is steaming off some of that water that's inside the caldera. And that's because it's got a hot floor in it. And we see that popping out pretty well. And if this thing does get like a crack in that caldera, what could happen is, of course, that water would get into the crack, and if it hit fresh magma, we would have an explosion, and then you would see all kinds of eruptive activity for a little while. But you know, the thing to watch out for are big tremors or earthquakes that could cause that. And that would be kind of neat and interesting. But anyway, for right now, this is what it is. It's 6 something in the morning there, 6:20 or thereabouts. Let's take a look at the other shot here that we have from Suwanosejima. And our little spider bug is not there today on the screen, which is really good. We do see the volcano having a plume coming out of here as far as it off-gassing somewhat right out of the caldera. So pretty good to see that, 6:14 a.m. and pretty awesome. I want to go back a little bit though and see if we can see any kind of a glow, and unfortunately that picture is not showing us anything. And going back a little bit more, 1:46 in the morning, still, you know, I don't know if that's from the volcano or if that is just the way the camera is tuned and the filters aren't working very well in there. You know, like this one doesn't look right either. So going back a little bit more, that's 10:30 p.m. Their time roughly from last night. Again, we're not seeing anything there, so I'm going to put that back to live, and that is what it looks like there today. Unfortunately, not a better quality picture. It is what it is, but we'll take it. That's better than no visibility at all, so we'll go from there. Next one, let's see if we can go to Taal and see what. Actually, I'm going to put this one back here. Why is that back? I gotta put that live first. There we go. It'll get there. Anyway, we're gonna leave it on the ice cream boat on this one. But go back to Taal. Yep, no sunshine yet. We can't see anything out here in the lake area. It's too dark, and I know they've got some bad weather there, so we need to be able to get some clear skies, or at least some sunlight hitting that stuff to be able to see what's going on there. And we'll check back in a little while if we can and see what we can find. And let's go to our next one that we've got going on. And oh, that did show up a little bit. Oh, okay. Let me get back on that one. Yeah, you kind of see the outline of the island, but I don't see anything coming out of it at all on this shot, so it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. Next one, and there we go. falls off stage. What? I can see clearly now that the rain is gone. Oh yeah. The rain is still happening. And there we've got all kinds of people driving by really, really quickly. Somebody parked on the wrong side of the road, perhaps, or maybe sitting in a rest stop area, watching some steam come out of one of the geysers. So this is Yellowstone National Park in the United States, and they're having a lovely day there. I did watch a couple of the eruptions earlier. Sasquatch truck. Yeah, they drive pretty fancy trucks, and that's a GMC if I recall. And, they like it. Crew cab, they can have 4 or 6 Sasquatches in the front, and then maybe another 6 in the back. So, ain't no sunshine when it's gone. Yeah, well, there's sunshine there, though, and I really do appreciate that. I have no idea what they're looking at, though. I'd like to see some, like Sasha said, bears and buffaloes, or the other way around, buffaloes and bears. Anyway, I'll leave that guy be, and we'll head over to Hawaii since we can, and let's have a look at what it looks like in Hawaii. And we'll get to the picture from last night at 1851, last night, Hawaii time. Come on, computer, you can switch. It's revving up for some reason. Okay, it'll switch in a second. I just, there we go. I have to wait sometimes for that thing to do things. I don't know, it's all of a sudden it wants to update a bunch of things and doesn't work quite right. Anyway, we can't see the little toe area over there at all, but we do see the outline of a very emptied lava pond, and we do see the drain areas here, the brighter areas around the edges. That is the area where things are draining out. Of course, down on this end is where that magma is feeding in and turning into lava. And that is kind of what we see in this pattern. Pretty awesome. Anyway, let's refresh that and see what it looks like right now. Ooh, the level did come up a little bit, and that is actually good. Nice to see. And again, you can see the path that some of that lava was taking here as it crusts over a little bit on the top. Anyway, we do see all the way around lots of cracks still happening. This hasn't dropped off yet, but I'm going to keep an eye on this and see if that falls in. That's something interesting. And we also see this has split off and sloughed down a little bit. So we'll probably see some of that dropping in eventually as well. Not sure if that's the entry to the toe area. It almost looks like it. And that second bridge here, definitely intact, going across there. And that is our toe, as we call it. And that is that lava pond in Kilauea's caldera. This picture, of course, from 11/11. Let's take a look at the other ones. This was from last night at 1855, and that, of course, is your lava pond. And this is where the little hornito with that divider is in the lava tube that flows into the actual lava pond primary vent located right there. We'll refresh that so we can get a better view of it in daylight. Unfortunately, lots of smoke again and hard to see things, but the lava pond is there with a higher level of lava in it again, which is really nice. Primary vent really smoky, and there's that hornito area with the lava tube vent right about there. Over here on the side of the hill, I notice it is smoking quite a bit, and that is very, very interesting. And again, this may end up breaking off eventually over here It's going to be really kind of a weight game to see what's going to happen with that chunk. And if we do actually maybe get another event opening, would be really wild and weird. But let's carry on. We'll go to the other side of the caldera, look from this side this way, and that is this picture here. And if we make it a little bit bigger, you can see on the sides here a little of that lava still visible that had spilled out. Primary event right there, this is that little hornito, and it's kind of blown out. You really can't tell where everything else is because of that smoke and everything. So what we'll do is we'll refresh it. There is the view of it during the daytime, and not bad. Again, we still can't see anything over there because of all that smoke, but that's where your lava is coming out into the lava pond, and we see the extra smokers there, and of course Pig Island, and we see also some smoke on the other side. Not anywhere near as much as what we were seeing before, so the levels are still not up that high in those areas, and we'll probably see it once the lava pond is full again. We'll start to see more smoke over here as the lava level rises within that crater one more time. A quick peek at the thermals, this one from last night. And again, I'm not seeing really any major information here. There's your primary vent, lava pond, the toe area, little hornito area here where the dividing tube is, and of course some in the foreground here, some of the lighter material that was previously spilled just recently and keeping it light. If you look all the way around, you do see a lighter band going around there. That is a lower level. This material in the middle here is kind of raised up a little bit and floating, and that is actually floating on top of the magma slash lava underneath there, and that is pretty cool to see that. Let's see what else we got. We're going to refresh that one, see what it looks like right now. There we go. Really not that much different. The only difference is this was from 1114, so a brand new picture. But yeah, you can see the lava level is a little bit higher in comparison to what we had. A lava pond, or the little divider pool here, definitely got a little more lava in it now, and that's your primary vent. So it's going from the vent over to this thing, and then this thing has a hole in there, and it is feeding into the lava pond. So hopefully it'll fill up that little pond all the way, and give us a little bit more of a light show. Would be pretty awesome. And again, you can see the toe and a little bit of light. We know there's that bridge in here, so that's what that actually is right there. And we don't see anything else around the edges right now, so pretty normal. Quick peek at the earthquakes that we've had there in Hawaii in the last 24 hours or so, and I don't think there was anything really major. There of course is your Hawaiian island chain, and then when we zoom in a little bit more, of course Oahu, Maui, and then the big island of Hawaii. And when we zoom in and we take a look at what we got here, Pahala area style stuff, and that is a 2.1509 AM. That one was 38.3 kilometers down. These other ones in this area are typically between 26 and 36 kilometers down. So we'll have a look at those. We'll run through them fairly quick here. 1.7 from yesterday at 1846. This is a 2.0 from 7:12 a.m. We have a 2.3 from yesterday, 21:54. This 1.8 from what? 1.0. I clicked on the wrong one. There we go. 2.2, 7:37 today. That's better. I was going to say, hang on, that's from 2 days ago, that other one. Anyway, this one 2.1 from yesterday at 1933. And also this guy 2.5 from 27 yesterday. Moving over into the other area a little bit, let's grab these ones down here first. That is a 2.0 from yesterday at 16:20. And then we have 2.1 from today at 13:37. And then we have a 2.0 from 11:39. And that is today's next guy here, 1.8 from 13:57. And then the newest one here, that is showing from 15:15. That is a 2.0. Let's grab these other ones here. 1.7, 5:32 a.m. And then we have this 2.0 from 19:15 yesterday. And this guy 1.9 from 12:25 today. And then we also have this 2.3, and that was from today at 4:09. And again, those are all between about 26 and 36 kilometers, and that's what we've got there. We'll get to these other ones after, and we'll take a look up on the hill first as we climb up. 2.2, 22.3 kilometers down, 6:48 a.m. for that guy. Then we have a 2.0 from yesterday, 23:49, 6.7 kilometers down. Then we have this today, 10:38, 1 kilometer down. That is a 1.9. Then we have a 1.8 from 10:46. That is 100 meters above sea level, so into the mountain it goes. And then 1.2, 3 minutes after midnight. That is 1.1 kilometers above sea level. This guy here, 1.8 from yesterday at 19:29. Let's grab the other ones here. 1.2, yesterday's 23:14. Then we have 1.3, 23:04 yesterday. And this guy 1.7, 3:15 a.m. And then we have a 2.1 from 7:48. And that is 1.7 kilometers above sea level, so well into the mountain. We have this guy here, 0.6, very small, 23:53 from yesterday, and that is 1 kilometer above sea level. This guy, 1.7, 1.1 kilometers above sea level from 23:10 as well yesterday, and that is all we've got there. We've got these other ones on the hill. I'm going to zoom back out here just to make sure we didn't miss any on the other side, and nothing over on Mauna Kea. But Mauna Loa is doing its thing. Did I get these two? I may have missed these two. 1.7 yesterday's 23:03, 1.9 kilometers down, and then we have this other one that is 1.4 from 23:40. Yesterday, 1.3 kilometers down as well. And let's see what we've got. Going back down the hill, we got that guy, and we wanted to get these two down here. This 1.7, yesterday's 20:55, 5.7 kilometers down, and this newer one, 1.9 from 15:23 Hawaii time, 3.1 kilometers down. We are not seeing anything new in our Kilauea crater, and that is kind of what we've got there right now. So we do see a bunch of little earthquakes in the vicinity, including right underneath the caldera, but it really isn't making any difference right now. I'm hoping these quakes have stopped, and we're going to see a refill of the material there. Anyway, that is Hawaii for earthquakes, you guys, and I'm going to zoom that out, and we will get back to Hawaii. Well, we'll get back to earthquakes pretty quick, but what I am going to do right now is take another break. It is that time, so hang in there. All those good people who are here, if you have not yet hit the like button, help us out. We're trying to hit that 100 mark, and we still have 24 to go to get there. Also, if you're new and you have not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. And hit that big red subscribe button, turn it gray, and don't forget to hit the bell notifications so you don't miss any of the shows. On that note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I will be back in about 5 minutes. And I have to go early today, fixing a supper. Thank you, Dr. Fox. You are most welcome, Grandma B, and take care, and all the best, and we'll see you on tomorrow's show. Okay, so for those good people who are here, I'm going to take that break and be back in about 5 minutes or so. Going to put you back on the wonderful canned lava, and that would be awesome. So let's where's my canned lava? Right there. There we go, and we got it planned. So keep smiling. I'm going to make sure there's enough lava in that can yet that we don't run out while I'm doing my thing. Oh yeah, we got plenty of lava left in that big can. It's a big one this time. So all good. Keep smiling and play nice in the lava, though. And I'm your host, Dr. Fox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I'm back. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board today. I see some more good people popped in. Welcome, Duchess of Elements and Brian Rock Rail Fan. Glad to have you guys on board. Mona Alfano also here, saying she's hungry. She's making something. Daryl R also popped in. Good to see you, Daryl. And Lizoid saying the house is still burning. And yeah, we're doing our thing. Thank you for the welcome backs from Albert Girl and Kevin Haynes. And let's see, who else we got? Sasha and I Hear You from Sharon Stewart, of course. And oink oink yum yum. Okay, Mona, and no worries. Anyway, hey, we were taking a look at our wonderful stuff that is happening around the world shaker-wise, and we'll continue with that. So I'm going to stop our canned lava there, and we're going to go back and have a look at the rest of our earthquakes around the world according to USGS, and we'll maybe switch maps if we have to. But for right now, we'll start out. I'm going to start out up here because I did notice this one, a 4.4 just off the western side of Svalbard slash Jan Mayen Islands up in the top. And that is interesting to see. So that could be some pressure relief off of the plate that may have been tensed up here in Iceland. And of course, when we go down, we see a couple of older ones there, but we also go back down a little bit more. 4.7, not too far away from the Ascension Islands. That is from yesterday at 15:59. Then we also have another one, 4.7 Mid-Atlantic Ridge area, a little further south, and that was at 12:37. So a little bit of movement there, and then of course South Sandwich Islands down here, 5.0, 42.6 kilometers down from yesterday as well, 15:45. Looking at big ones around, we don't see any really new large ones. 4.1 here in Chile, 109 kilometers down, 11:32 or 31, and this guy 4.5 Nicaragua, 61.3 kilometers down from yesterday, 22:19. And then we also had that guy here. That is actually a part of Mexico, 4.6, 47.8 kilometers down. Yesterday's from 1929. So a little bit of shaking there in South America and the Mid-Atlantic Ridge. Moving over here to our New Zealand area. We do see the older one here, 5.2, and we want to continue on though. This, of course, Kermadec Ridge, and they're calling it Fiji Islands, but that's okay. 4.8, 10:32 a.m. their time, 10 kilometers down right there, and this may be Tofua possibly. No, it's Tonga. Sorry. 345 kilometers down. Yesterday's from 23:01. So that is what we've got in the area. Everything else is older and quiet. We have a smaller one here, 4.5, Solomon Islands, and that is 128 kilometers down. Moving over a little bit more, looking for other ones, 4.6 here in the Banda Sea, and 156.9 kilometers down. We're not seeing anything else in the main portion of Indonesia. We do see this here though, 4.7, and that is 44.3 kilometers down from 13:43. A little bit bigger one right there, 5.1 in the bottom end of the Philippines, and that was 134.9 kilometers down from 5:16 a.m. their time. And then when we move up a little bit more, we don't see anything new in Taiwan, which is probably good. They've been beat up enough. They don't need any more. And we do see here 4.9 Japanese islands, 10 kilometers down from 6:43 a.m. That guy had a little friend, 4.9, 13:05 was the time on that one, 10 kilometers down as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Going up a little bit more, we are not seeing anything else on the Kamchatka Peninsula, only one little guy here in the Aleutian Islands, Adak, Alaska, for a 3.8, 22.2 kilometers down from 5:16 this morning. This is an interesting quake, though. Every time we have one here, we end up with bigger ones further down. Anyway, that's 4.8, 10 kilometers down from 9:26 a.m. Today in Russia. Sliding over a bit more, we don't see a heck of a lot of other ones. We do see this spot here in Iran, a 5.0, 9:25 a.m., and that is about it. And the other one here, let's have a look. That looks like either Switzerland or France. That's in France, 3.3 from today at 17 minutes after midnight, 5 kilometers down. And that's kind of the second one we've seen here in about a week or so. So very interesting to see those making a little bit of noise. And that is kind of at the end of that rift zone, if you want to call it that. So I don't know why it's transmitting all the way over onto the other side, but always interesting to see earthquakes in those areas because they shouldn't be there. And not bad. Yeah, Duchess of Elements, yeah, that, yeah, you gotta understand Canada is the second largest country in the world, and it's bigger than the United States, and the eastern portion of the country is approximately 3,000 miles away. Actually, Hawaii is closer than the other side of the country, so but thank you, and yeah, I'm glad it didn't hit there either. We do have some people out there like Sue Hayes that lives out there who went through that storm, and hopefully well, she fared pretty well, so hopefully some of those others did. I did see some of the video from the other damage in the areas, especially in Nova Scotia, and that was just horrible. It really is. When you get up into the northern portions of Nova Scotia, they just got pummeled up there. So pretty awesome. Well, it's sad, but it happened. Anyway, let's go over to the Canary Islands. Going to refresh that real quick, see what we've got happening there. And there we go. Of course, that star is flashing right in the middle here. 1.6 from 21:05 is the time on that guy. And that is on right, well, in between. There's Tenerife, and there it is in the water. So I'm not going to worry about that guy so much. Let's take a look at La Palma, though, because that's our wonderful island we like looking at. And looking for today's quakes, today's the 25th. Well, 24th, nothing for the 25th. It's just like in the Azores, very quiet today. So interesting to see that, and kind of makes a guy wonder. So very easy going in La Palma. And we don't have too many of the other ones here. We do have this little guy. I don't know when he's from. 2 days ago already, 4:01 a.m., 2.9, and that's, let's see, 40 kilometers down on that guy. They do show a couple of other ones in there. I'm not sure the locations. There they are. And oh, that one is actually from the 25th, so it's from today. 40 kilometers down for that 3.7, and that is very interesting. So we are seeing some movement on the European or Eurasian plate, and that could be why we're seeing an increased pressure up in Iceland, or at least we did, and now that it's moving a little bit, it's probably relieved that pressure. Pretty awesome, and we'll leave that there, and we'll go through some of these other ones. Just a real quick peek here. I want to see if there's anything else that may have happened. Guatemala 5.1, 22 minutes ago, according to that map. And if we go zoom in on that Guatemala area, not seeing which one they're calling the 5.1. That's 3.7, 4.2, 4 point something. All right. Not making any sense. I don't see it. There is Guatemala. That's what they said on the screen up top. It makes you wonder. This is El Salvador. Yeah, 4.6, 4.7. All right. Somebody forgot to draw a circle on there. But anyway, not bad. Here's what I was looking at up here at the Jan Mayen Svalbard area. We do have more quakes here that we see. 25th, 4.7 from 1401. We have this guy from 4.6, 1459. We have this guy 4.3 from yesterday, from 4:47 in the morning. This guy 3.2 also from today, and that was at 3:51 a.m. And then this guy 2.8 also today at 3:16 in the morning. 32 kilometers down on that guy. These other guys, that's only 2 kilometers down for him. This is the older one, 10 kilometers down for that. This one was 2 kilometers. Makes you wonder what's going on there. Anyway, we do see those, so wanted to make sure that we got all of them, because I did look at this map and I thought, well, hey, why aren't we seeing the other earthquakes that were registered there? And then we zoom in a little bit and we see we have some quakes in Germany, 2.0 from yesterday. Didn't see that on the other maps either. 1741 is the time yesterday for that one. Then also over here in Poland, 3.3, 10 kilometers down. Yesterday's at 1:18 a.m. and then it had another one from 15:14, also 10 kilometers down, 3.0, and that kind of gives you what's going on there. We see a bunch of little ones here in the mountains as well, in the Alps, as well as some in Italy. Not going to go through all of them, but that's what's happening in the area. There's Kos. Piggy might have felt that 2.4 from yesterday, 40 minutes after midnight. Hopefully it wasn't anything serious. And then there's this guy also, 2.7, Western Turkey, 7 kilometers down from 1929 yesterday as well. These ones down below the ridge, I don't think she'd feel them. They are 3.3 from the 23rd. This is from yesterday, 3.1. So I doubt very much that they would even notice those ones. These ones up here might shake a little bit. Aegean Sea, and of course, while we're talking about the Aegean Sea, let's talk about the Aegean microplate that this is actually located on. And we'll close that window for a second. So you have you've got one plate right beside it, and what's happening is that's the Anatolian plate, and the top end is moving over a lot faster at twice the speed the bottom end is moving over this way. And when we see that, we know this thing is curving down. And of course the Aegean plate is being pushed from the Eurasian plate, being pushed down here, and then of course you've got push coming back up from the African plate, so along this ridge. And it's always kind of neat to see that, but it is what it is. And then the Arabian plate is what is actually the catalyst or driver for that whole system. And as it moves up, it pushes the Anatolian plate, microplate over into the Aegean plate, causing the earthquakes in the Greece area. Just so everybody kind of has that. Anyway, let's leave that alone. I'm going to put it back onto the quakes. Brand new one right there in Honduras, 5.1, happened at 15:30, 10 kilometers down today. So that is very, very new. And what they call it, the Honduras. Is that Belize or yeah, that might still be partially in Belize there. So that's pretty cool. Well, that's not cool for them because Belize is a nice place. I've been there. Actually, I've been to Ambergris Key, and that would be, I do believe, right here. Yeah. Anyway, it's a nice island. If you get a chance to go, go. It's worthy. Definitely worthwhile having a look at. Anyway, that is the earthquakes. I'll leave them there. So the only thing left right now is to go over and have a look at the weather, and we'll start that after the break though. And what we'll do is have a quick peek back at Sakurajima. It's still foggy, smoky, and everything else there. So 6:31 a.m. There in Japan right now. And that's what we see, and what we got happening over at our Yellowstone. Just about time for Old Faithful to be erupting. Is 10 kilometers down considered shallow for seismic activity? Yes, it is. It's fairly shallow, John, but what happens majority of the time is if they don't have a proper scale or reading on the depth, what they do is just write down that it's 10 kilometers down. So if you take a look at any one of the earthquakes that you see, if you see 10 kilometers, that means they're guessing. Okay, majority of the time. So that is what it is. Dr. John is a friend from another channel, a great guy. Well, he's welcome here, and not bad. We don't mind having a few questions and stuff like that, but that's all cool. And yeah, so when you see the USGS or some of the other maps, that is important to know that they are in fact guessing at it. It's just, it is what it is. They have to put something down, they don't know what, and that's basically how it works. So anyway, Evie, welcome. Glad to have you doing Oopsie Dreaming. Hello, John Raper. No worries, Evie, and glad to have you on board. Okay, I'm going to take another little bit of a break here, you guys. So I'll throw you back onto some canned lava. I'm not actually going to throw you onto the lava. But maybe Kim Raudenbush I would, but the other ones I wouldn't. I'm just kidding about that. Welcome, Kim. Glad to have you in here nice and late. George Couteau, welcome, and Big Ola, and thank you. Porto is listening. Excellent, George. Glad to have you on board. Okay, I'm going to take that break, and you guys enjoy this canned lava until I get back. I'm going to throw some music on, and then when we come back, we'll do our worldwide weather and SO2 report first, and then the weather, and have a quick peek around just to make sure that we didn't miss anything else, and we'll go from there. So I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. If you're new and you haven't hit that like button yet, please help us out. We're trying to get over that 100 mark, and I see we're still about 13 shy of 100. That would really help out. Also, if you are enjoying the show, by all means, hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. And that's it. I'm going to go for that break. I'll be back in about 5 minutes. Thanks. we go. I'm back. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX, a live stream. Still not first. Wow, Tom, you're 2 hours late. That's why you're not first. It's the weekend, remember? Stream starts actually about 3 hours early. So, but welcome, Tom. We don't mind having you here, late or not. So, pretty awesome, pretty cool. Echo, the bot is here as well. Good evening, Echo the bot. Anyway, we were going to go take a look at our weather. But, I realized that we totally jumped over and skipped over Mount Etna today. And it's actually probably good because it's more appropriate for the weather than it is for what we are actually seeing there. So let's go over there for a second and just gonna show you what Sicily was like today. So of course very, very difficult visibilities for any of the stuff for the volcano. When you see this kind of cloud hanging around, and it makes life really, really miserable and doesn't do a darn thing for us. So it is what it is, and right now, of course, it's nighttime there, just after midnight, and we'll continue on with that. But I want to show you what I did have a little bit of a time lapse from this morning, and we'll make that one go. And let's see, and there, we get it going. All right, this, of course, 64 times the speed of normal, and gives you a little more idea. I thought it was more appropriate in the weather segment than in the other stuff, but watch those clouds. They kind of sit there and rain and go back and forth, and it's just kind of awesome to actually see that, and a little bit different. Yeah, very, very cloudy, and that just absolutely no visibility of our good Mount Etna there. And that literally looks like it's twirling right over top of that whole area. And you can see the rains going through. So more of what I would consider a weather phenomena rather than an actual volcano scene. And yep, it is pretty awesome to see all of that moving through and together and apart, and pretty wild. It really does look a little on the freaky side. If you had clouds moving in that direction very quickly, I think we'd all be running for shelter somewhere or something. But I just figured I'd throw this in and let you guys enjoy a little bit of a time lapse for today. So pretty awesome, and we do like that. Hey, John Raper, you gotta hit that live button. I think you might be a little bit behind. And look at those weird clouds. That is just phenomenal. I thought it was neat. But yeah. Anyway, that was it. So that was 4 hours worth of weather in just under 2 minutes. So that was kind of what we were seeing, and that's why I saved it as a little segment for the weather maps. Anyway, let's get over there. We're going to refresh our stuff for the weather maps, and we'll see what we've got going on today. Here's our SO2 map for North America, well, for around the world. And what we're seeing here, the change coming out of our good old Kamchatka Peninsula. It's dipping way down and then coming up, but there is not as much of it by any means, considering what we were seeing in the last few days. So it really has calmed down a little bit that way. We do see a little bit up here in Alaska, and then of course some of that is popping over into Canada and doing its thing. But in general, we don't see too much. Edmonton, of course, being a refinery city, we have a lot of pollution here, some of which I am not very proud of. Looking at most of the U.S., I can understand population stuff, but that's what we got there. Looking at Mexico City and the Popocatépetl, that is pluming out into the Pacific, as well as what we're seeing down the coast from some of the other ones. Fuego not producing as much SO2 by any means today. A little bit more coming out of Nicaragua and some from Costa Rica, and then again from the Colombian volcanoes as well. And a little bit there in Ecuador, sliding down in through Peru. Sabancaya is adding some of that into this little plume here, but not really adding as much as the pollution areas that we see, and that is dumping that stuff all the way through and ending up into the Atlantic Ocean from the Pacific side. Sliding over to New Zealand real quick, we see White Isle Volcano back at it, and it is throwing out a fair plume, so it's doing its thing. Down here, Leo is doing a barbecue. No, that's actually from the refineries down there near Melbourne, and that is what we've got there today. And coking plants north of Sydney, providing that little plume for everyone. And I'm sure there's some people pollution there as well from a city itself. Sliding out here, looking at Tofua in Tonga area, and that is continuing to off-gas. Not seeing any from Home Reef volcano yet, and that would be a little bit further to the north of it, and we're just not seeing that yet. Once we do, though, it'll be interesting. And going Vanuatu, pretty normal. Same with Papua New Guinea. Really nothing out of the ordinary there. This would be from Luolatok, and then getting over a little bit more Samaru and Raung there. Marapi looking like it's not putting out as much. Krakatau still producing lots, but Jakarta is also working on that as well. Over here would be Ibu and Dukono. They're still happy together doing the things that they do most. We are not seeing as much here in the Philippines today because we've got a storm sitting right on top of the Philippines, raining like crazy, washing the air clean, hopefully. So Mayon right in here would be producing some of that. And then, of course, when we look here, this is Taal. This stuff is coming off of Manila. So Taal volcano would be right there. Very little SO2 coming from it. Sliding up a little bit more, looking at Taiwan is pretty normal. China is its normal pollution south. Suwanosi-jima down here is definitely throwing out a bunch of SO2. And then it is being reinforced with Sakurajima, which is also producing a fair amount of SO2 right now, and that is what we are seeing in Japan. As we mentioned earlier here, a lot less coming off of the Kamchatka Peninsula. We do see down here Ibiko still working away, but we have Karimsky, Bezimiani, and Shivalish doing their thing here in the Kamchatka Peninsula. Moving on a little bit, like I say, China, pretty bad looking. India, quite a bit of pollution, and sliding down a little bit more. We're not seeing anything coming off of Reunion Island, and that might be a good thing. We do see this plume coming in here, and that is from South Africa, from the gold mining, gold smelters there. and they should, since they got that gold, they should be paying for air tax. Anyway, we got a couple volcanoes there in the DR Congo, plus also some coking plants doing their thing. And then moving up again, very, very difficult to see if Ale is producing anything due to the activity here in Saudi Arabia, where we've got refineries pouring out a lot of SO2. A lot less showing on the eastern side, though. Same thing with Iraq, not as much coming out today, so maybe they're taking things easy a little bit. And let's go look here and see what's going on. Mount Etna, definitely still off-gassing some SO2, and so is Stromboli and perhaps a Volcano from that region. Sliding over a little bit more, we don't see very much here in Spain or Portugal or France, even Germany, fairly light, and nothing in Holland, a little bit in Belgium. Luxembourg looks pretty clear, and Poland has got a little bit more of the SO2 there. Looking at Ireland, very clear. Same thing with most of England, Wales, and Scotland, doing fairly well. And same goes with Norway, Sweden, and Finland, all the way up through here. And a little tiny bit coming out of Iceland. So I don't think that is going to amount to a lot. And on that note, let's get over to our other map. I'm going to have to refresh that one. I don't know how old that data is. It was from today, but from earlier. And here we go. Before we get into things, I just want to mention the storms here. So we've got Gaston, that is moving upward slowly and heading that way. We thought that that was going to come this way more, and it is not. So that is interesting, and of course Fiona is this has turned into this low now. So that is Fiona that caused all the damage in Nova Scotia and that area, and going up through Newfoundland, Labrador up here, and that's just a low now, so nothing major to worry about. We do see that we have 99L coming in, and not sure if that's going to continue to build. And they're saying this one here, Ian, is supposed to build up to a category 4 and make landfall somewhere around here at the panhandle end of Japan, or sorry, Florida, not Japan. Florida, different continent. Okay, we'll try that. So I'm not sure if that's going to make it, and I'm not sure if that will pick up to a category 4 storm. But you never know. You never know. I'm not going to hold that against those guys, since they're the weather guessers. I am not. Looking at Alaska, we see a mix of temperatures there. Some very cold, but mostly everything is single digits. Same goes for Yukon, a little bit warmer in portions of Northwest Territories until you get up to the top. Then it starts to get into minus temperatures. None of it, yeah, I want none of it. None of it is very cold right now. Looking at our prairie provinces, not too bad a temperature for the 25th of September. I'll take it. And same thing goes for the interior of British Columbia, the lower portion of it anyway. Looking very nice, and coming through a little bit more. Not sure why it's so warm right there, but that is a little odd thing. Down on the bottom end of Hudson's Bay. And anyway, going down into Ontario, southern end, and looking at higher teens there for them, not so bad. And Quebec, low teens, getting out in here into the upper portions of Quebec starts to really cool off because of the storm sitting there. And then when we take a look, and I'm very happy that it's a lot nicer there now in the eastern portions here for PEI, Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and that area in general. A little cool over here in Newfoundland yet, but not so bad. Getting into the United States, looking at the western side, very warm today, which is really awesome, and again, very nice to see a warm day. We do have Death Valley coming in at, what am I going to find here? I'd say 42, 43 degrees, something like that, 44 degrees on here. I don't think Sue is here, so I'm not going to worry about matching up with that, but that's kind of what we're seeing. But some awesome temperatures, 37 up in the northern portions here of north of Sacramento. Wow, that is actually a very, very warm yet for this time of year. And same thing goes for down here. We're seeing some temperatures 43, 44 degrees, and wow, that is quite warm. Phoenix, Arizona coming in at 39 or thereabouts. I don't know if that's accurate with that, but we'll definitely see what is going on. Tucson, same thing. And there we go. I'm sliding over a little bit more into Texas. They are having a briskly warm day as well. 35, 36 degrees in some places. Pretty wild. Thanks, Kevin. 39 it is in Phoenix. Awesome. And we are seeing very warm temperatures in Texas. And we got Louisiana and Mississippi and Alabama. And even most of Georgia. Once you get up into the mountains here and the top of Georgia, it cools off a little bit, but down in the bottom areas and all the way down into Florida, we're seeing some very nice temperatures, very close to 30 C, and that's pretty good. North Carolina, South Carolina, North Carolina, not bad. We get up into Virginia, we start to see a mix. And as we get up a little bit more, we get into Pennsylvania and New York areas, a little bit cooler, and but still reasonably nice weather all the way up here into Maine. It could be state of Florida, emergency in Florida. Okay. I didn't know there's an emergency there. Why are they showing an emergency? Storms? Let's just kind of peek and see what we got there. Ooh, I don't know. Why would they have a state of emergency? I'm a little confused. That Ian is going to be coming up there, but Ian is going to hit them? Okay. Hurricane is approaching. All right. Hopefully it won't be so bad. Anyway, we'll see where it goes. They were talking about taking that SLS rocket and putting it back into its shelter. And I don't know if that's it's kind of weird. Why would they do that now? They should have put it back in there a while ago. Anyway, looking at what we've got here in Cancun, 28, 29 degrees, but we do have this storm, and if that does come in here, it's building, and it's building fast. So again, a predicted path was somewhere to end up here in the corner of Florida, and if that's where it makes landfall, and it is it was supposed to be up to about here that it stays a category 4, and then once it hits, it's supposed to drop to category 1. we'll see what happens with it in the next day or so. Hopefully not anything bad. Anyway, looking at the Amazon rainforest, for the most part, quite warm today. Some really decent temperatures. Still seeing some cool areas down at the bottom here. And we do see a lot of the areas are pretty warm. But right there, 10, 11, 12 degrees. I don't know, even go a little further south, warms back up here in Uruguay, showing 20 degrees. And then even in, we got 36 degrees at one end of Paraguay and 15 degrees at the other end, which is really kind of weird. And then we see a lot of the areas here in Argentina are fairly warm until you get a little closer to the mountains and down on the south end. So that's what we've got there. Sliding over to New Zealand, pardon me, single digits for a lot of it, but we do see a little bit of a warmer trend down the bottom end here, but like I say, single digits for the most part. And the South Island, North Island, a little bit warmer. Getting out on the peninsula, you're going to get 15 degrees, 16 degrees, but looking fairly cool in the main portions of the northern island. Very cold in Tasmania today, and that is looking pretty frosty almost. And again, looking at the eastern side, southeastern side here of Australia, very cold today. And when we get over and we see the bottom end as well on the Perth side, just as bad. And looking at the heat, all that heat we had seemed to have dissipated. So if you're living there, Brisbane would be the place. It's still relatively warm. All right, there we go. I'm going to take a look here, and there we see more storms. This Nauru is still there, and 96W building up again. I don't know which direction that is going to go. This guy, of course, was out here in the sea of Philippine Sea, and it came across and is doing its damage now. A lot cooler in the whole area. They're not experiencing those high temperatures they had before. Looking at Bangkok, 25, 26 degrees. There, and I'm sure the relative humidity is out to lunch for that area. And let's go up a little bit more here, looking at Japan, a lot cooler as well. We see varying temperatures. So thanks, Trevor, for that. 24 and missed the humidity, but that's okay. 24 degrees in Bangkok. Yeah, 24, 25, depending on where you're looking here on the map. A lot colder in Japan, and even colder out here on the Kamchatka Peninsula, single digits for sure. And looking at what we're seeing, that low, of course, drawing down some of that cold air from the Bering Sea here. And moving over a bit more, looking at India, not as warm for the most part. Looks like Pakistan, though, is still showing that heat. And we are seeing more heat down in the southern end of Saudi Arabia. A little cooler in Iraq and Iran. Well, Iran actually has got some warmer areas as well, which is pretty interesting. UAE coming in at about 30 degrees, and then Oman somewhere around 28, 20, depending on where you're looking. I guess a little bit of variation there, but higher elevations, a little cooler. Looks pretty normal though. And looking at some of the temperatures, I was looking earlier there during their daytime, and yes, they were getting 42, 43 degrees Celsius again. and that is something they didn't have for the last couple of days. So nice to see that the Sahara Desert is cooking again. Looking at the bottom end of Africa, the cold places, of course, is down here on the bottom, and that's what we got. But the rest of Africa looks like it is starting to warm up, and the higher elevations here on Madagascar are the cold areas. The rest seems to be holding some reasonable temps. Going into our Mediterranean area, Greece, of course, right in here, and looking at what temperature Piggy has. She's probably got about 21 degrees Celsius right now, and that is actually pretty cool for her. And let's see what we've got. We'll just double check that and see. There we go. 20 degrees Celsius. Wow, that is a little bit cooler than normal, and probably a little easier on everybody there. And looking at what we are seeing in Sicily, they are warming up again, but still for nighttime temperatures, 20 degrees Celsius is pretty darn warm. The same thing goes for most of Italy on the lower elevations. As soon as you get up in elevation, it seems to cool off quite a bit. And same thing goes for pretty much all of that area. Once we get up into the top area here of the Italian Alps and stuff, we are seeing definite temperature drop off, and still Milano area not bad, 14, 15 degrees, pretty nice for nighttime. Southern end of Spain still holding some heat. Northern portions, though, starting to really cool off, and that is kind of different, I guess, single digits for the most part. Looking at what we see in France, northern portions again starting to cool as well, but they still have really a mixed bag of temperature there. Looking at Germany, western portion of Germany fairly cool, and we get down to Munich, 11 degrees, and Nuremberg, 11 there. What we got, 12 in Berlin. Hamburg is coming in at about 8 degrees. So varying temperatures. Same thing with Luxembourg, a little bit on the cool side, anywhere from 6 to about 9 degrees. Belgium, a little warmer on the coast, but again, dipping down to about 7 in the cooler zones. Looking here into Holland, 8, 9, depending on where you are, 10 degrees, and get out to the coast, start getting a little bit warmer to the 11, 12 degree temperatures. London on the, England on the other hand, England and Wales. Wales a little bit warmer on the coast here, but as soon as you get into the meet there a little bit, we're starting to see it cool off very, very quickly. And looking down at the rest of it, low teens or very close to 10, 11 degrees. Same thing goes for Scotland, single digits in a lot of places. So, but some places still holding some temperature. And Irish Monk country, Irish Monk came back just in time to get reasonable weather, and he is lucky. 13, 14 degrees Celsius for Monkland, and that is pretty awesome. Quick peek at what we see in Norway, Burr. Actually, again, it's doing the weird things here up on the top of the coast, starting to get some warmer temperatures, but the highlands are very, very cold, single digits in most of Sweden, as well as Finland, and below 0 temps in some of the spots, but Finland really cold. And we see that monster low that's in here working this system. It is helping to draw up some of that warmer air, but it's not going to help Iceland at all. And looking here at the Reykjanes Peninsula, pretty normal. I mean, for this time of year, 6-7 degrees is actually not bad at all for them. We do get into the eastern portions of the country. Looks like very close to freezing for the most part. So let's leave that alone right there. We'll see if we can switch over to the rain or precipitation, and then we see off of the west coast of British Columbia, hitting so the Alaskan panhandle here, if you will, and seeing in Alaska they're getting a bunch of rain and snow. Same thing with up in the Yukon, some snow as well as rain. A little bit of rain in the interior, nothing in Alberta or Saskatchewan, and up in the Yukon, and none of it snow coming down up there. Manitoba is just on the edge of that storm, and that system is all the way through from pretty much from New York all the way through there. So the Great Lakes lake effect storm for the most part, and that's what we're seeing, as you can see that sliding down. Not so good for the people there. Toronto getting nailed, and yeah, as we mentioned before, that's the end of Fiona right there. That's what's left, and it's still sitting over northern Quebec and Newfoundland, Labrador up on the top. And they're saying state of emergency for the Florida area. We do see some storms there now, but it's Ian that they're worried about. If that does become a true Category 4 as it comes through here, not only is it going to inundate Florida, it's also going to nail Cancun and Belize and British, the Honduras and those areas as this thing progresses upward. And of course, Cuba is going to get nailed as well. Just so we're aware of that. I'm not sure if people realize that. Everybody's worried about Florida. These other guys are going to get it too, right? Sliding down a little bit more, we see lots of storms, Central America. And looking at our Amazon, we do have typical stuff there in the Amazon, nothing too abnormal. This storm is still coming in here, keeping things a little cooler, dumping a bunch of rain, and that is just south of Sao Paulo in Brazil, and that is covering, going half of Paraguay there. So down here in Argentina, we're still seeing a bunch of rain there, but nothing too serious. And then, of course, off the coast of Chile, you know what it is. It's Chile. And let's slide over and have a look at New Zealand. And New Zealand being a little bit on the dry side, a little bit of water coming down on the western side of the South Island, but the rest looks okay. I'm sure this will probably work its way over and do some more rain there. Looking at Tasmania, the cold land, it's got a lot of fog on it, rain on the west side of it, and Melbourne and that whole area is getting some water there as well. And let's see, do we have anything major happening? Yeah, we got all kinds of little storms, normal stuff here for the Fiji area and Tonga. They always get those little storms sliding over a little bit more. Indonesia, so with what they're getting, but we do see that low out here. I'm not sure where that's going to end up going. And of course, down here on this whole peninsula area, Bangkok or Taiwan, or no, hang on, Thailand, they're getting pretty nasty there. And of course, the Philippines, Nauru, sitting right on top of it, doing its thing. And this 96W, still not sure if that is going to work its way in there as well. It almost looks that way with the way the wind currents are going. And looking up here, and the Kamchatka Peninsula, wow, they're getting two lows working together, pulling that cold air down and really hammering it with that moisture that it's pulling through all that. So very interesting, and we also see this long snake here as a divider line. Pretty wild to see that. Looking at Africa, pretty normal. Central areas still getting stormed out. And looking here for Piggy, typically likes to get some rain. Still dry. Most of Greece, Turkey, and those areas are very, very dry right now. We do see a lot more rain happening in Sicily and Italy, and it looks like Naples is about to get wet again. Looking at northern Africa, they've got some water coming in as well, which is pretty wild, and then another storm here with that low. So pretty crazy. Someone say cake. Why do you want to say cake? We like cake. I don't know if cake works. Is there cake? I don't think there's cake. I don't ever remember putting cake in there. Anyway, I like cake. Anyway, bottom end of Germany getting some of that wonderful stormy rain, as well as seeing some here in Switzerland, and of course Austria getting nailed with some. And there's some cakes. I see cake. Grandma B's got the right kind there, the one with the strawberry on it. I like that. And looking at England, top half of England is getting wet. Portions of, I guess, the top half of Ireland is also getting wet. That would be about what we're seeing there. Looks fairly dry in Denmark yet, but I'm sure they're going to get that stormy weather pushing through there. And then, of course, you can see here in Norway, definitely doing its thing. Sweden got all kinds of moisture on the interior, and it's kind of not as bad here in Finland, but it is still there. And we see that big system that was sitting on Moscow has moved, and it's moved over to the east a little bit, so that is all right. And zooming into Iceland, I see a lot of white dots. So if you're in Iceland, you too could collect some white dots, and that's commonly referred to a four-letter word, snow. Anyway, we do see that low right there, and that is driving that whole big system, busy low, if you ask me. And that is pretty much it for our weather, other than finding our really, really cold spot in the Antarctic, and we're going to do that now. So Sue Hayes is not here right now, so maybe we'll see what we can find. And I guess I don't have a competition. So far only minus 70 degrees Celsius. Oh, minus 71, 72, and yeah, so minus 72, minus 73, yeah, minus 73 degrees Celsius is what I'm going to go with today. So that is what we've got. Live about 3.5 hours north of Blue Ridge Mountains. Nice. Anyway, there we go. That is what we're seeing for the cold temperature for today. What? Sorry, Doc, couldn't pay full attention tonight. Gotta go night all. Okay, King Colin, and that is no problem. You take care. And we're all done for today. We got the very cold temperatures. Again, make sure you bundle up your penguins before you send them out there. And at least it's not 80 below Celsius. That is horribly cold. And I hope everyone is going to fare well with the storms coming in. Again, I don't know where Gaston is going to end up, and I hope Ian does not build up to a full category of 4. Does your graphics show El Nino? No, it does not. I don't believe they do. I haven't looked on either one of these. You're more than welcome to check. This is ventusky.com, and the other one is windy.com. So you're more than welcome to download those or just go to their pages and check and see in their list and see what's in there. But I don't believe they've got any El Nino stuff in there. So that is what we've got. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, you guys. That's it for today's wonderful stream. And hopefully you all enjoyed it. We're going to put you back on our canned lava. Wonky donkey, I found minus 77C. And I don't know. Too late now, I already won. Thanks, Trev. Stay warm, though. That's what I got to say. And there's some lava to warm you back up from that really, really cold temperature that our wonky donkey brought up. And yeah, you guys want to check out Arizona Snowman brought up 2 pineapples link, but also Talk Air Iceland, showing some great stuff with the auroras as of late. So please have a look at that, and that'll be cool there. And on those friendly notes, I'm going to say thank you everyone for being here. Did not have any super chats today and did not have any new membership today. So that's not to worry about. And then I'm going to say thank you to all of our members that we do have. Thank you for your awesome support of the stream. Also, thank you for the entire Lava family for being here. And big thank you to Arizona Snowman, Piggy, C&D Boy, Gary, 24/7 Live, he's at Skies, and Joseph, and any of the other moderators that were hiding in the background as well. And on that friendly note, it's time for me to get off of here and go rest my voice. So, oh wow, Daryl R throws in a $5 super chat. Thank you very kindly, Daryl. You're an awesome dude. And thanks, I appreciate that, Daryl. Daryl R5, I'm just writing that down. Thanks. Thank you kindly for that support, Daryl. Awesome of you to do that. Yeah, could let you out without a chat. Okay, cool. All right, that is awesome. And I'll leave it there. Be good, everyone. Play nice and be kind. And take care of yourselves. And most of all, I ask that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. Wow, Sharon Stewart, thank you. I really do appreciate that. You didn't have to, but I appreciate that, Sharon Stewart. Write that down. Thanks for that wonderful $37 super chat. That is awesome, Sharon. Thank you very much. $1 for each of us at the moment. Thank you kindly. I really do appreciate that. Okay, so as I was saying, be kind and be good to each other, and most of all, make sure that you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And we will see everyone tomorrow night. Tomorrow's Monday, so stream time is back to weekday stream times. And thank you, and we'll see you all then. Take care, and oink oink. Good night.